Earlier this week, we sat down with Republican Senator Dan Sullivan of Alaska, who sits on the powerful Senate Armed Services Committee. Sullivan tells CBS News the military holds on officer promotions by another Republican Senator, Tommy Tuberville, is weakening the U.S. military against China. Here's some of that conversation. This week, President Biden met with China's president. What's the impact of these military holds on our readiness in the South China Sea, specifically with our submarine fleet?
A lot of these holds are on, 2- and 3-star Navy admirals, a lot of whom are Navy admirals with submarine experience. And that is really, in my view, dangerous. Why is that? Xi Jinping, the leader of the Chinese Communist Party, is scared of a lot of elements of American power. One element of American power he's really scared of is our submarine fleet. We have about a generation in terms of our advancement over their sub capabilities. But you can't just put a submarine commander in a sub or with a sub fleet overnight. It takes years, decades to train military officers on submarine operations. Right now, we're holding numerous admirals who have incredible, hundreds of years combined experience on sub operations. This is something that we want to make sure we are deploying, not keeping on the bench, keep Xi Jinping nervous about American submarines. And that's another reason why we got to get these generals and admirals confirmed.
Well, what I'm hearing you say is that these holds by Senator Tuberville are weakening U.S. deterrence.
I have no doubt that they're undermining readiness. And it's not just readiness, it's morale. There's growing bitterness in our military forces because, again, they know they're being punished over something they have nothing to do with. And when Senator Tuberville says, oh, don't worry, everything's fine, there's no readiness problem. Look, I'm the ranking member on the subcommittee on the Armed Services Committee in charge of readiness. I focus on readiness daily. That's just an incorrect statement. And in my view, it's the Biden administration's non-seriousness when it comes to our military. The president has put forward 3 budgets in a row that significantly cut the military, and his latest budget shrinks the Army, shrinks the Navy, shrinks the Marine Corps. That is exactly the wrong message to be sending to Xi Jinping and Putin.
President Biden said he had a, quote, clear-headed discussion with the Chinese president about Taiwan. How close are we to a military conflict with China over the island?
What I worry about right now is on the capability side. There is increasing overmatch, what we call in the military overmatch, of Chinese forces in the Taiwan Strait and South China Sea region relative to our forces. And again, the Biden budget, which shrinks the Navy significantly, is not helping with that. We need to be much more ready, and that's a huge focus of mine as a U.S. Senator.
Which GOP presidential candidate is best equipped to take on China?
Well, look, I have not endorsed any GOP candidate yet. I'm certainly planning on endorsing who the eventual nominee on the Republican Party side is. I think President Trump's policy with regard to China was actually quite strong. It was an awakening for the Chinese. He really essentially said, hey, no more of this promise fatigue. No more of these broken promises. And, during the Trump administration, working with the Republican Senate, we significantly increased our military budgets.
Has the strength of U.S. deterrence diminished under the Biden White House?
Yes.
How significantly?
I think it's been significant both as it relates to our military power. Again, next year, the president's budget is going to take our military spending to below 3% of GDP. We've been below 3% of GDP on military spending probably 4 or 5 times in the last 70 years. And that was primarily during the end of the Clinton administration when the so-called peace dividend. So the military budget during this very dangerous time is going directly in the wrong direction. So to me, that is a huge component of hard power. There's no doubt in my mind. I will give the president and his team one area of, I think, where they've done a good job, and that is enhancing our alliances. That is another area of American strategic advantage over the Chinese